All right, it's our final segment this morning. Paul Kenny, master mechanic, owner-operator of Precision Tune over there on Murfreesboro Road in Antioch. Nice to have you on.
It's good to be here.
Good to have him on. We've got a lot of calls.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, no one stumped you yet.
Well,
the diesel
questions.
call was tricky.
Good questions, though. I mean, you've got the smartest listeners in I
like to think so. In spite of me up here, they're smart. And let's go to Stephanie next on 2. I think we got Stephanie. Stephanie, go ahead.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, my question is this. I have a 2011 Nissan Altima, and my check engine light has been on for 2 years. But what happens when it's time for me to go through MOTA, I take it somewhere, they do something to it, and I drive it, and it passes MOTA. Okay, recently I had it checked, and they told me it's my catalytic converter. How long do they last in a 2011 Altima, and why has it lasted this long?
Oh, how many miles do you have on it?
Right now I have 110,000.
110,000 miles. Okay, so, well, all right, so here's what's going on, Stephanie. Your code's coming up for your catalytic converter because it's not working probably efficiently. And it will say, below threshold temperature or something like that. It could be the catalytic converter, or it could be the 2 oxygen sensors that monitor it. You got an oxygen sensor before it in the exhaust and one after it in the exhaust, and it tells the vehicle how clean, how good it's working, how much it's cleaned up. It's like an afterburner, how much it's cleaned that exhaust going out. Now, when you go and they click the codes off, number one, that's illegal. And they shouldn't do that because it's not fixing the problem. It's just turning the light off. And catalytic converters work off of temperature. So, you drive 30 or 40 miles or 1 or 2 days, and it may take a week to rethrow that code, but it's borderline and it's passing that test, and you're slipping on through. And hey, that's good for you because, like I said earlier, catalytic converters are expensive. It's not out of the out of the realm of possibilities that at 100,000 miles, this converter has worn out. They will last longer, but they will also go bad sooner if you have other problems, misfire, a spark plug not firing at some time, drove it for a while like that, can do damage to it. An overheating problem or an underheating problem, not letting it get up to temperature. So there's many things that can make it go bad, and it's probably time to go ahead and have that repaired. But you definitely need to have the oxygen sensors checked, because if one of those sensors goes bad, it's going to read that catalytic converter is not doing what it's supposed to, and it can give you a false fail on the catalytic converter. So have that checked out, either by your local shop or dealer, either one. Okay.
A lot of things can set off the check engine light. Just because you have that,
everything
just that goes off doesn't. If your check engine light's on, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fail emissions, right?
Right. No, if your check engine light's on, they'll fail you before you even hook up.
Oh, they will.
Yes.
Right off the bat. But even if the emissions are fine.
The check engine light will not be on if the emissions are fine.
Oh, I thought the check engine light can go on because your gas cap's not on.
Right, which is part of your emissions. Everything has to do with the possibility of the car running not properly, or emitting fumes into the atmosphere or out the tailpipe. All that will pop a check engine light on.
So
that's what
if you drive into emissions and that check engine light's on,
if that light's glowing, you're done. I mean, they'll look at that and they'll say check engine light's on, and most times won't even hook up.
Okay, but at least though there could be a lot of reasons, very simple reasons that can be corrected.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, can you get used catalytic converters? I mean, sometimes will there be a used one that they're always new?
Not at a reputable shop. And there's been a real problem with catalytic converter theft.
Oh, I know, because copper, right? Is there copper in there, or some kind of metal?
Zirconium dioxide, but these converters are so expensive that people are going on, usually the car lots and stuff, and they're going in there, they're cutting them off and selling them as pre-owned catalytic converters to people to put on their cars and stuff, or just the salvage on them is expensive. And I think the salvage yards, just like doing copper, are now trying to document who's bringing these things.
Yeah,
guy shows up with a truckload of new ones just been cut off a car, they're going to tag the file,
Yeah, they're going to put you in touch with the police. So.
Right.
All right, let's go to Travis. Hi, Travis.
Hey.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Morning.
I have a question about a 90 model Chevy pickup, the 1500 series 350 motor, It's an automatic transmission. I've got reverse and low gear, and when the low gear winds up, ready to shift second, it's just winding up, so I'm not getting full in second and third gear. You got any advice on that?
Yeah, time to rebuild or replace that transmission. It sounds like your second and third gear clutches are wore out in it. Has it been rebuilt, or is it all original in that?
No, as far as I know, it's all original.
Yeah, it's time. Good old truck, run forever, last forever. That 350 engine, you know, one of the best motors ever built. Mm-hmm. Transmission, probably not going to be out of the realm of cost to just go ahead and either, you know, get a rebuilt unit and put it in there, or take it to a transmission shop and have them rebuild the one that's in there.
27 years old, this truck.
Well, that's nothing.
I was trying.
Keep driving it, man.
My son asked me the other day, I tried to explain it, and I'm a dummy on this, though, but essentially the transmission is what? It is what, as opposed to the engine?
Transmission is what transfers the power from the engine to the wheels.
Okay, so it's not the engine, it's not the wheels, it's what's in between.
Right, it's what's in between. And you know, an automatic transmission has a fluid clutch in it, just like your Miata has a solid clutch in it. And they use hydraulic power to get the gears spinning in there, and those clutches have to grab.
So usually they eventually just wear down.
They wear down, yes.
Okay.
And that's what puts the power to the drive shaft to the wheels. So yeah, transmission transfers power.
Is that less expensive to replace than an entire engine?
It's major.
It is. When you hear you need a new transmission, that's a bummer.
You know, transmission and engine are the two major components of a vehicle.
Yes, that's going to be expensive.
And at that time, you decide, well, you know, you got to make a life decision. Do I love this truck? Got a lot of sentimental values. I kissed my first girl in it. Yeah. I'm going to keep it forever. Go buy a transmission. If everything else is falling apart on it, time to give it a decent burial. Take it over, park it in Nick's front yard.
So I think, my scrapyard. Yeah. So if he likes that truck, whatever that might cost for a new transmission, I don't know, $2,000, something like that, maybe?
Yeah, not that, yeah.
He's not going to get a new truck for $2,000.
No,
and if he loves this truck and it's still in place, it's probably worth replacing that than getting rid of it and buying a new truck.
Right. But, you know, what do I know? I drive a 91 Celica.
I know. Hey, what about the little one?
The Geo Metro I handed down.
That's the Geo Metro. Let's go to Eddie. Eddie, real quick, do you have a question? Hi, Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your question, sir?
I have a 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got a 6-cylinder, but if I put an 87 octane in my car, it pings. But if I put an 89 or 93 octane, it don't do it. Why does that happen?
All right.
Okay,
got a minute and a half.
That pinging is pre-ignition. You want to eliminate. Number one, that it's running at a regular temperature, which you're probably okay on that. Carbon will cause that. Do a good top engine cleaning to remove the carbon from the valves and the pistons. I had one, the same thing, 4-liter engine. I had the same problem with it. Had to really keep the carbon out of it. It was worse when I ran my air conditioning, which, this time of year. But if it's maintaining temperature and everything, try getting all the carbon out of it, get a good top engine cleaner run through there. There are procedures to do professionally, or you could try a DIY method and try it yourself and see if that helps. But
if you have just a standard car that can run on regular unleaded,
yes,
is it worthwhile just once in a blue moon to fill it up with premium to kind of burn a little hotter and clean it out, or is that just a myth?
No, and it doesn't hurt to do that every once in a while.
I'm not saying all the time.
And I wouldn't run a full tank through it, but
$10
worth once it gets almost that.
And what will that do, maybe?
Well, remove some of the carbon, some of the buildup. A good maintenance dose of fuel injection cleaner in your tank every so often. I usually put some in before I go on vacation.
Okay.
So yeah, doesn't hurt. A little love, just to show it a little love.
Little love. Here's where you can show a little love to Paul. Precision Tune Auto Care, and there's a lot of good mechanics in town. Paul's one that you can trust. He's a good guy, and I've known him for years. And there's the number 399-8863. He's out there on Murfreesboro Pike. You own that Precision Tune. That's yours.
Me and the wife.
You and the wife, owner and operator, which is kind of nice. So Paul, listen, thank you. See you again soon. I apologize we couldn't get to all the calls, but they can call you, but you'll join us again. All right?
Yes, will do.
Be back. Programming note about tomorrow right after this.